I'm meteorologist Vin Crosby from the Weather Show at Vin Crosby here on YouTube. We're going to get you updated on all the big winter storm and how much snow may come to the valley. But first, I want to talk about a call I received yesterday. I was very, very grateful. Some of you may have seen on Twitter a National Weather Service employee kind of lashed out at me over a forecast or disagreed. He was upset because I was trying to, get the word out a little earlier. Whatever it was, he said I was hyping something up. But going back and forth, it kind of escalated a little bit. I questioned a little bit and just felt it being unprofessional. And so did the people in charge there at the National Weather Service at Boise. So I received a wonderful phone call yesterday from Jay Breitenbach, the warning coordinator meteorologist there at the National Weather Service. He's been there for years. And then the man in charge, Mike Canton, who is the new meteorologist in charge, just saying, hey, this is not the direction this office is going, and we apologize. And they, took care of it in-house. And I thought that was great. I called them back today. Actually, I talked to Jay. I had a real good conversation about the situation. I said, hey, no worries. It's all good. I've been young and, fired out a few things in my day, and it's all good. The whole point of the matter is to get the message out and get people safe, right? That's kind of what I've always done through my career, and I know that's what the Weather Service is all about, and always had a great relationship with them, and we had a great conversation over things I've done for the Weather Service in the past and vice versa. So all good there. I just want to say thank you to Mike and to Jay, and looking forward to meeting Mike and going forward with what the Weather Service does. Data, they get the forecast out, and more times than not, we're on the same page. This particular storm, I'll tell you what, Jay and I agree on one thing. The mountains are going to get crushed. We differ a little bit in the snow amounts down in the Treasure Valley, but not by much. And so we'll clarify all that for you coming up. First, let's see what they're talking about there at the Weather Service. Check this out. Winter storm watches are already up for the mountains. We're talking several feet of snow in some areas, so great news for the skiers. I got a report from Bogus Basin coming up in just a bit. You'll see that. I was up there today. And then some snow totals down in the Treasure Valley could be happening as well. But notice that on their little graphic here, they say, hey, we're talking heavy snows up in the mountains here for the course of the weekend. And down in the Treasure Valley, how much is going to fall? It's going to depend on a lot of things. And I like what they put out, too. They did a nice job with this graphic. They put out a snow total forecast, and you can see that the numbers for the mountains are just tremendous going in through the weekend into early next week with these systems that have come on in from the northwest. We call them troughs of low pressure. They're going to continue to march down into the northwest and get enhanced in the mountains. And then there's snow totals down in the Treasure Valley. Look at the totals out towards the right. You can see Boise, they're going for 4.4 inches. I'm thinking maybe it could be a little heavier in spots. We're going to have to see how that all pans out. 5 to 15 inches, I think I went initially, with the possibility of 15 inches. It just depends on where the cold air is and the energy for the storm. And so they put at the very top of the graphic, hey, this could change, and it could go the other way too, but I think they're on the more conservative side, to be honest with you. And if it does change, I think it'll be more on the higher side if it does change. So that's kind of what I would throw my 2 cents in on the Treasure Valley accumulations. I should also point out that back up in the mountains, though, I think they're spot on. That's kind of what we've been pushing for, 1 to 3 feet all along, 2 to 4 feet in some areas. I think I did on my first report. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. And when I come back, I'll kind of go over a little bit more on the changes in my forecast from yesterday. I think it's still on track for Friday afternoon, Friday night, going in towards Saturday. And then I think the changes will be for Sunday with a little bit more intensity in the snows coming for Sunday and Sunday night. If you look at my last forecast, I had a storm coming in on Monday. It looks like that's going to come in a little quicker on Sunday. All right, so that's the way things are shaping up. Let's go to the report.
Meteorologist Vin Crosby from the Weather Show at Vin Crosby here on YouTube. We are set up for epic snows for the mountains, and I'm up here by Bogus Basin here at the Deer Point Express. You can see a lot of skiers on the mountains. We got a few showers coming through. We call it a little grapple. It's kind of like bouncing off. Not quite the light fluffy snow, but we are seeing a little bit of grapple, so a little bit of fresh stuff coming our way. We are going to see more snow come our way to the tune of maybe 1 to 3 feet of snow for the Bogus Basin area, if you can believe that, and could be starting as soon as Friday night going into Saturday. Let's break down the old weather pattern that we have going on for you. This system that's coming through tonight will bring mainly valley rains, but mountain snows, and there could be a few more inches of snow up here on and off in the mountains right on in through Thursday. But then Thursday night, there'll be a cold front that pushes through. That will taper off most of the snow activity until late Friday afternoon and Friday night. And then Friday night, the snow's really going to come down. And some areas up here could get between 4 and 8 inches of snow by Saturday morning. And that's just the beginning of what will be falling here over the next couple of days. We are going to see a big change in the weather pattern where we get a lot of northwest flow. A lot of cold air coming on in, and then as this system passes, we'll get the Arctic air coming on in, but several waves of moisture coming on into the northwest, and the computer forecast models kind of all together on what's going to happen in the mountains. Down in the Treasure Valley, they differ quite a bit, and we'll talk a little bit about that coming up. But up in the mountains, we are looking at a big push of heavy snow from Friday night all the way through, say, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, where we'll see a lot of cold air, a lot of moisture, and storm after storm coming on through. So right now, where Bogus has great conditions already, the fresh powder that we've been longing for is around the corner. I do like maybe 1 to 2 feet of snow. Guarantee that between 1 and 2 feet of snow going on in through, say, Sunday morning, and then another big powerful storm is now being forecast to come on in Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, going into Monday. That could bring another foot of snow up to the mountains. So 1 to 3 feet of snow, fresh snow and powder coming on in to most of the Idaho mountains. So we could see substantial knee-deep, waist-deep powder right here at the Bogus Basin area by Tuesday of next week. And then the Arctic air moves on in. The Arctic air will come in from the north. It is going to kind of ooze its way into the northwest. How far south it goes, still yet to be determined, but we are going to see it move on in towards Seattle and maybe back towards Portland. And as that kind of sinks on down into the valley floors, we could have that settle down in the Treasure Valley. If that happens, then we set the stages for maybe towards the end of next week, going into next weekend, of another storm system coming on in, on top of all the cold air that's already in place. Avalanche danger is going to be very high going on in over the next 7 days in the high country and the backcountry. Snowmobile enthusiasts, snowshoe enthusiasts, cross-country skiers, be on guard for that. The best time for avalanches is 24 hours after the fresh snowfall, and because the density of the snow is a little different, where we got more of this hard-packed snow, then you throw the fluffy stuff on top of it, and then you bring in a little bit of moisture on top of that. It makes for a very unstable snowpack, so we may have to deal with some avalanche dangers in the high, steep terrain areas. Watch out for that if doing some back country skiing or snowshoeing. So Bogus Basin looks like things are going well here today. They're getting ready for some night skiing. Visibility probably pretty low at the top. I can see the clouds kind of up there. We've got this snow shower activity, light stuff coming on through right now. Maybe an inch or two overnight tonight. Maybe an inch or two again going in towards tomorrow. But then tomorrow night going on into Friday, that's when the big push, Friday night I should say, that's when the big push of snow will come on into Bogus Basin going into Saturday morning. So let's buckle down, prepare in the Treasure Valley. In the Treasure Valley, here's the way it's shaping up. I put yesterday down that all total down the Treasure Valley could get 5 to 15 inches of snow in some spots. That's going to depend on the temperature going into Thursday night, going into Friday morning. If the temperature, starts to get up there into the mid-30s, we could get the snowfall that comes down to that 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inch range, but then the water content, the snow, will limit the amounts that's on the ground. So we'll have to play that game. And then as the next system moves on in with the other cold air, then we could get more snow on top of what was already on the ground. So overall, we could have 5 to 10 to 15 inches of snow that falls depending on the track of the storm, but the actual accumulation on the ground down the Treasure Valley may be limited due to how much water content is in the snow and the temperature of the air temperature. Regardless, like I said on the past couple videos that I posted, when the Arctic air, the colder air, does move on in behind all this mess going on into Tuesday morning, that's when the temperatures will be down in the low 20s, maybe teens, and that's when we'll see pretty much everything get iced over. So the roadways are going to become like glaciers going in towards Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week when the cold air gets on top of whether it is a wet snow or a light fluffy snow in the Treasure Valley. So a lot to watch as we go forward here. But up here at Bogus Basin, it's all good. We're having tons of fun. And get on up here and enjoy the snow conditions over the next couple of days. Be careful on that road. Give yourself some space between you and the person in front of you. A lot going on up here at Bogus over the next couple of days. Next week, I'm looking to get up here maybe Tuesday or Wednesday to jump into some of the fresh powder. Again, 1 to 3 feet of snow could be falling at Bogus Basin over the next 7 days with this powerful storm system coming on in. And then there may be more coming in towards the end of next week. So I'm the Weather Show, Vin Crosby with the Weather Show on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Check it out for all my latest updates. Share this video with friends and family, and have a wonderful
All right, it looks like snow is coming. Rain in the valley prior to the snow falling, and then I think the forecast still holds true. Powerful cold front comes on in. We wake up to temperatures in the low 20s to upper teens going into Friday morning. Storm system comes in during the afternoon, and then it'll start spreading some light snow. Now, the key is going to be the wind coming in from the east. The east wind usually evaporates the snow coming in from the west because it's coming in from higher elevations back towards eastern Idaho, sinking down into the valley, and that dries the snow out. So that's the only fly in the ointment I see right now. I think the brunt of the snow Friday night going into Saturday morning will be after midnight when the winds diminish some, and then the snow just kind of comes down to that nice steady flow of snow to give us that 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 inches. Could be as high as 2 to 5 inches, but that's Friday night going into Saturday morning. And then we'll have scattered areas of snow around going into Saturday. And then I think another big push of system was coming in on Sunday, which may mix with rain too in the valley. So there's all kinds of variables that could happen for snow. One thing's for certain, this is not Snowmageddon and all that terminology from the storm 2 years ago. When I called that storm months in advance, it was because we had the Arctic air in place. You got to have that type of air in place and then this moisture coming in to get the snowfall totals that we had back then. At this point, obviously, the ground is warm. Temperatures have been mild. We are not going to get anything like that where it gets locked in. But then next week, as the Arctic air kind of modifies a bit, we will get a piece of it, but not all of it. And then it's going to seal things down. It's going to get cold and icy. So still a lot going on with this system. But the one thing for sure is the word is out. Prepare, get the sleds ready, get the kids ready, the clothes, the gloves, all that good stuff out. And be safe on those roads, especially going up to Bogus Basin. 1 to 3 feet of powder is going to be great. I can't wait to get up there next Tuesday and Wednesday.